You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. I've been carrying this secret for over a year now, and it's eating me alive. I fell in love with my husband's brother, and we've been having an affair right under my husband's nose. But that's not even the most shocking part of this story. Stay with me until the end, because what happened next will leave you speechless, and you need to hear how this all unfolded. Before I dive into this story that's been tearing me apart, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with someone who might relate. Trust me, you're going to want to follow along for every twist and turn of this confession. Let me start from the beginning. I'm 38 years old, and I've been married for almost 18 years. I got married when I was very young, barely out of my teens, to a man who seemed like my perfect match. In those early years, everything was magical. My husband was adventurous, he loved going out, traveling, taking care of himself. He was fit, handsome, and we were inseparable. He was my ideal partner in every way you could imagine. But here's where things started to change, and this is important because it sets up everything that happened later. After about 3 years of marriage, my husband began to transform into someone I barely recognized. He started gaining weight, developing this huge belly, and completely lost interest in taking care of himself. I would beg him to come to the gym with me, suggest we work out together, but he would just laugh it off and say he was too tired, too busy, had too many responsibilities. Meanwhile, I refused to let myself go just because I was married. I continued working out, taking care of my appearance, staying in shape. And you know what? My husband loved having a beautiful wife by his side. He would compliment me when we went out, loved how people looked at us, how I turned heads. But when I would suggest he take care of himself too, show him old photos of us when he was fit and handsome, he would just laugh and say that marriage changes men, that he had too many responsibilities now, that my cooking was too good to resist. His attitude was basically this: why should he bother staying in shape when he already had a beautiful wife? That mindset frustrated me beyond belief, but I loved him despite everything. He was still gentle, caring, a good father to our son, and a good provider. Our home was comfortable, our child was well taken care of, and in many ways we had a good life together. But then something happened that changed everything forever. About 2 years ago, one of my husband's brothers moved to our area. My husband actually helped him find a place nearby. I had met this brother-in-law before, but we had been distant for years, so when we started spending more time together, I began to really see him for who he was. And let me tell you, the contrast between him and my husband was striking. Where my husband had become sedentary and overweight, his brother was fit, muscular, with a flat stomach and strong arms. Where my husband had become a homebody who just wanted to sit on the couch after work, his brother loved going out, dancing, attending shows, living life to the fullest. They were complete opposites in almost every way that mattered to me. My brother-in-law was always respectful toward me, always treated me well, and my husband never seemed bothered by our friendship. In fact, he encouraged it. When I mentioned that I was looking for a workout partner since my husband refused to join me at the gym, my brother-in-law immediately volunteered. My husband thought it was a great idea. And that's when everything started to get complicated. My brother-in-law turned out to be passionate about fitness and basically became my personal trainer at the gym. He knew exactly which exercises would help me look and feel my best. He was always encouraging, always pushing me to be better. He helped me with every workout, and I never sensed anything inappropriate about his behavior. He was just being helpful and supportive. But then came that day that changed everything. I was doing squats at the gym when my brother-in-law came up behind me to spot me. He placed his hands on my waist to help guide my form, leaned in close to my neck, and complimented my perfume. The proximity, the intimacy of the moment, caught me completely off guard. I laughed nervously and turned around, and for a split second, we were so close that we almost kissed right there in the gym. On the drive home, he kept talking about my perfume, saying how good I always smelled, how I dressed up for the gym like I was going to a party. Something had shifted between us, and I could feel it. I started looking at him differently, and I could tell he was looking at me differently too. The breaking point came during a family barbecue at our house. Everyone was drinking, eating, having a good time. My husband, as usual, was planted in his chair, not moving except to grab another beer or more food. I was in the kitchen preparing snacks when my brother-in-law came in to get a drink. Most people were outside in the yard, and we found ourselves alone in the kitchen. He offered to help me prepare the salad, and as we worked side by side, he started complimenting me, telling me how beautiful I looked. He had been drinking, and he was being more forward than usual. Then, out of nowhere, he stopped what he was doing, stood in front of me, started playing with my hair, and before I knew what was happening, he kissed me right there in my own kitchen. We had developed a closeness over the months, but we had never crossed any lines before. When he kissed me, instead of pushing him away or making a scene, I have to be completely honest with you, I liked it. I enjoyed that kiss more than I had enjoyed anything in years. This man had an irresistible way about him, a passion that I hadn't felt in so long. But I played it off, told him he was crazy, that he had too much to drink, that we should pretend nothing happened, and that I wouldn't tell his brother because he would kill him. Then I escaped to the bathroom, and you know what I did in there? I started laughing to myself like a teenager. I started imagining all sorts of things with this man. I was thinking, what is happening to me? Am I losing my mind? When I returned to the party, I felt different. I started dancing, showing off, and I could feel him watching me. I wanted his attention more and more. He was sitting next to my husband. They were talking, but his eyes were on me the entire time. And my husband? He didn't notice a thing. The weekend passed, and I didn't go to the gym on Monday. By Tuesday, my brother-in-law was at our door asking why I had missed my workout. My husband even joked about it, saying maybe I was going to get lazy like him, that it would be fine if I got a belly too, that he wouldn't mind. I laughed it off, said I was just tired, but that I definitely wasn't giving up on my fitness goals. I got in the car with my brother-in-law and went to the gym as usual. But that day at the gym, I tried to keep some distance. I was trying to understand what I was feeling, what was happening to me. He noticed my behavior but treated me the same as always. On the way home, I didn't even want to ride with him, but I had no choice. Instead of taking me straight home like usual, he pulled over on a deserted street, looked at me, and said something that changed everything. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I know I crossed the line at the barbecue when I kissed you, but I have to be honest. That was an amazing kiss. I can't get you out of my head. I know you're my brother's wife. I know I'm being terrible, a ridiculous person, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sincere. I'm attracted to you. You're an incredible woman, a woman who really catches attention, and you've been affecting me for a long time. All I wanted that day when I kissed you was to take you to the bedroom and do things you can't even imagine. No man had ever been so direct and honest with me like my brother-in-law was in that moment. I was speechless. I said, "You forgot that I'm married," and he started playing this game, saying, "Tell me you didn't like it. Tell me you haven't thought about that kiss, and I promise I'll stop right here." I couldn't do it. Looking at him, I started trembling. I started having feelings I hadn't experienced in years, and I can guarantee you this, I had never cheated on my husband in all our years of marriage. I had never been with any other man besides my husband. But that day in the car, when my brother-in-law saw my reaction, he kissed me again, and this time we were both more comfortable with it. He touched my body, and I felt a fire inside me that I had forgotten existed. I let it happen. We almost made love right there in that car. When I got home, I ran to the shower, and instead of feeling guilty, I found myself laughing like a teenager again. And from that day forward, I have to be completely realistic with you. I began having an affair with my brother-in-law. Yes, my brother-in-law, my husband's brother, became my lover. It's been over a year now that we've been together, finding ways to sneak away, go to hotels, travel to other cities, have dinner together. And my husband has absolutely no idea. My brother-in-law even started dating another woman just as a cover. He told me himself that she's not his type at all, that there's no chemistry between them, that it's obvious there are no real feelings involved. But with me, this man is incredible. He treats me well. He says he loves me. He shows those feelings, and he has even proposed that I leave his brother to be with him. But I was honest with him. I told him I won't end my marriage, that if he's expecting that, we should stop right here. For me, it's either this way or not at all. I told him I care about him deeply, that I think I love him, but I also love my husband. I love my family. I don't want to separate. I don't want my son to grow up away from his father. And my brother-in-law, being the shameless person he is, said that was fine, that we would keep going like this until the day I realize he's enough for me. Until then, he would continue his fake relationship with the other woman, but I would always be his priority. I agreed to this arrangement. It's ridiculous, yes, but how many men do exactly the same thing? I don't need to pretend to be a saint here. I know many people live double lives, and I'm one of them. If it were up to us, my husband would never find out. We're very careful. We protect ourselves. I use protection. We do everything properly. We don't leave traces. No one in the family has ever suspected anything, and I'm confident we'll continue exactly like this. The only reason I'm sharing this story with you is to get some relief, because sometimes my conscience weighs heavy on me. There are moments at family gatherings where we're all together, and I'm face to face with my lover who is also my brother-in-law, and my husband is right there beside me. I can disguise it so well that even I don't believe it sometimes. It's an uncomfortable situation, I confess, but I've gotten used to it. Living this double life has become my reality. I have the stability and family life I want with my husband, and I have the passion and excitement I crave with his brother. Some might say it's selfish, others might say it's practical. All I know is that both relationships fulfill different needs in my life. The most challenging part isn't the secrecy, it's the family gatherings where we all have to act normal. Sitting at the dinner table with my husband on one side and my lover on the other, making small talk, laughing at jokes, all while keeping this massive secret. The rush of it is both thrilling and terrifying. There are moments when I catch my brother-in-law looking at me across the room during family events, and I have to fight every instinct to not react. Meanwhile, my husband is completely oblivious, sometimes even encouraging us to spend time together, thinking it's great that his wife and brother get along so well. The guilt comes in waves. Sometimes I'm lying in bed next to my husband, and I think about what we're doing, about the betrayal, about how this could all explode in our faces. But then I remember the passion, the connection, the way my brother-in-law makes me feel alive in ways I had forgotten were possible. I've become an expert at compartmentalizing my life. When I'm with my husband, I'm the devoted wife and mother. When I'm with his brother, I'm someone else entirely. Someone passionate, desired, alive with excitement. It's like living two completely different lives in one body. The strangest part is how natural it all feels now. The lies come easily, the excuses flow without hesitation, the double bookings and secret meetings have become routine. I've surprised myself with how good I've become at deception. But late at night, when everyone is asleep, I sometimes wonder what would happen if the truth came out. Would my marriage survive? Would my son forgive me? Would the family ever be the same? These are the questions that keep me awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to my husband's peaceful breathing beside me. Yet when morning comes, when I see my brother-in-law's text message asking when we can meet again, all those doubts fade away. The excitement returns, the anticipation builds, and I find myself planning our next secret encounter. This is my reality now, loving two men, living two lives, and somehow making it all work. Whether it's sustainable long-term, I honestly don't know. What I do know is that for now, this arrangement gives me everything I think I need. Security, family, stability with my husband, and passion, excitement, and intense connection with his brother. Some days I feel like the luckiest woman in the world, having the best of both worlds. Other days I feel like I'm walking on a tightrope, one slip away from losing everything. But I've made my choice, and I'm living with the consequences, whatever they may be. And that's my story, my confession, my reality that I've been carrying alone for over a year now. This is actually a real story shared by one of our followers from another platform who reached out to share their experience. I want to thank them for their courage in opening up about such a personal and complex situation. If you found this story compelling, please subscribe to our channel, hit that like button, and share this video with others who might relate to complex relationship situations. Most importantly, leave a comment below with your thoughts. I read every single one, and your perspectives help create meaningful discussions about real-life relationship challenges that people face every day.